If you tuned into the last episode of the GymCrafter podcast, you got to hear me complain about 4 different companies in the garage gym industry. Well, if you liked that, you're in for a treat today, because today I'm going to complain about all of them. Welcome back to the GymCrafter podcast, everybody. My name is Tim. I am the head gym nerd here at GymCrafter.com, the website and YouTube channel that I built to help ordinary folks like you and I build home and garage gyms that we absolutely love. And I will tell you, in the course of building this company, I have ordered and lost and had trouble installing and ordered missing parts for, you name it, for more garage gym equipment than I can possibly even remember doing. And over the course of all of that time, there's about 10 things, and it's weird because it worked out to be 10. I was ready for this list to be any size. It just happens to be 10. Things that, man, you know what? If the garage gym companies could start doing this better right now, and it wouldn't cost them a lot of money to do any of this stuff, all of our lives would be much better, and we would be much more loyal customers who spent more money with your companies. So today I'm going to take my cranky old man persona. Yes, I am still sick with the virus, which shan't be named on YouTube for fear of being demonetized, but it is still hanging on. Guys, it just won't go away. I don't know what's going on, but it is no fun. And it's left me a little crotchety. So since one of my dreams as a child was to be a grumpy old man telling people to get off my lawn, I'm going to make this podcast being a grumpy old man telling you whippersnapper home gym companies to do the Joey Swole, and you need to do better. So let's dig into the things that I think that these companies could do better. If I miss any, definitely let me know down in the comments. If you know any companies who are doing these things well, also shout them out in the comments, because I don't think that every company is doing every single one of these things poorly, but it's pretty darn close. So I got a good one to start off with, I got a real meaty one to finish with, and I got some good ones in the middle. Got my list right here. Let's go. So number one, first and foremost, Bells of Steel and everybody else, please, for the love of all that's good in IKEA, give us better directions. I will tell you that the number of times I get good instructions with a piece of gear that needs to be put together is none. I almost never get good directions. And I'm going to put up on the screen here, step 1. Yes, this picture that you're looking at right now is step 1. Now there's only 3 steps in the whole assembly process, but this is supposedly step 1 of putting together the Bells of Steel single stack cable tower. Can somebody please help me understand how this is supposed to help a user put together a piece of gear? Yeah, not good. Now, I don't want to pick on Bells of Steel. That just happened to be one of the manuals I had handy. Some of them are doing a better job. However, look guys, the bags, just the giant mixed bag of bolts with the instruction manuals that don't make any sense, that were translated using Google Translate, so they don't, look, that's gotta stop, all right? If we're spending thousands of dollars on this stuff, the instructions need to be better. So how could the instructions be better, you ask? Well, that's my option number 2. Why don't, instead of giving us manuals, you make instruction videos? Bells of Steel. I hate to pick on you guys because I love you. I got a ton of your stuff in my garage right now. However, I ordered the Bells of Steel reverse hammer, the reverse hyper and GHD, and the owner's manual was equally as bad as it was for the cable tower, but they sent me an email and they said, hey, we made a video to help you put it together. And I'm not kidding, guys. I'm going to put a link to this video in the description of this podcast so you can see. Here's how the video starts. The guy gets up on the screen and he goes, hey, I started by putting half of this together so you knew what it would look like as we went through the steps. Dude, I need to know how to put the first half together. Like, I have nothing. I have a pile of bolts and metal pieces, and you're telling me that step 1 was off camera, you put together half of it already so that I could, no, that doesn't work. So step number 2 is not only give us good written directions, but have somebody who actually knows how to make videos and understands that most of us are starting with zero knowledge of what this thing is supposed to look like, make better instruction videos. So there's the first 2 things that I think that today's garage gym manufacturers could do much better is to give us better written instructions and then also give us video instructions and make them easy to follow. I will tell you that some of my best ranking videos on my YouTube channel are some assembly instructions because I just took the time to actually shoot the assembly stuff. I'm considering taking both of those bells of steel pieces apart and just making my own instruction videos because I pretty much guarantee that every single one of you who orders those pieces would need this video. So, but that's number one and number two. Let's move on to number three on the list of things that all home gym companies should probably start doing now. And that is another type of video, which is let's talk about how to use your products. If somebody orders a reverse hyper with a GHD, like the reverse hammer, then it would be awesome if there was also some videos on all of the different ways that we could use those products. And again, boy, I feel like I'm picking on bells of steel because they have made a couple of videos like this for the reverse hammer, which is a step above. So kudos, Bells, you're doing something very few other people are doing, so thank you for that. However, what would be really awesome is if you had an actual trainer get up and talk about how to use them properly, where to put your feet, where to put your hands, how to brace, how to set the foot rests or the leg rollers, how far they should be, how much slack there should be. Because what happens is that we sell these giant pieces of equipment to people and then they get on them and then for the first 5 years they have them, they use them wrong. And this can cause injury, it causes them not to get results, it causes them to stop using them. And I really think that one of the best things that we could do for people is to stop assuming that everybody who buys a piece of gear actually knows and understands how to use the whole thing. If you go to a big Globo gym, one of the things that the trainers there spend most of their time doing is showing the customers and the clients actually how to use the machines in the gym. I did a video on the C10 all-in-one trainer. The number one question I get is, in the video, there's these exercise charts on the back, and Force USA decided not to include those. They didn't make those at all. And I can't tell you how many people have reached out there like, where's the exercise charts? As a fitness company, what happens, I think, is the engineers and the designers just assume that if somebody's going to spend $1,000 on something, that they know how to use it. And unfortunately, that is not the case. And I really think that there's a big place for the fitness companies out there to actually make some good, detailed instructional videos, not just on how to build the stuff, but on how to actually use and get the most out of things. I've got a few coming up. I've got one coming out on the Force USA leg sled where I'm going to show you probably 15 different exercises that you can do on it. I've also got one coming out for the Bells of Steel cable tower because I have absolutely been loving that thing, and there's a million different things that you can do with it. So these are some things that I think are really important. I think one of the channels that does a good job of this is Kaizen DIY. Is a great YouTube channel to follow, and he does a really nice job of showing you all the different exercises you can do with some of the stuff he comes up with. And I think that there's a really big place for that in our industry, because the more that you can have people kind of get the most out of your gear, the more they're going to want to order more of your gear. And quite honestly, even as a certified personal trainer with several certifications under my belt, having been working out at home for 40 years at this point, there's still things that people show me that I can do on certain pieces of equipment, and I'm like, man, I wish I'd have known about that. I'd have been doing that for years. So, item number 3, do a better job of showing us all the things that we can do with your fancy new gear that we just put in our garage. Number 4 is let's stop using us to test your V1 equipment. And there's a few companies that are worse at this than others, but nothing is more frustrating. And I'm going to throw a rep under the bus on this one. Boy, you know, they came out with the Aries 1.0, and it's a great piece of gear. They're still trying, I believe, at this point to clear out the last of them, because they came out with the Aries 2.0. And the Aries 2.0, quote unquote, addressed all of the issues that our initial users found with the one. Well, you just made all those initial users spend a lot of money to do the R&D that you maybe should have done on your own. And not just, look, this isn't just a rep thing, this is an everybody thing. Titan Fitness did this for years. You never, ever, ever wanted to buy a Titan 1.0 of anything because you knew that a 2.0 was right around the corner. But anytime you're going to come out with something, instead of having just the 3 people in your office test it out, I really think that maybe starting to send out like 10 or 15 or 20 of your V1 units to reviewers, people like myself, people like Gluck, people who in the review space who actually take time. There are some out there who will not take the time to actually use your stuff. Don't waste your time sending it to them. Send it to like the mid-sized people who are actually going to use things and put them to the test. Joe Gray over at Gray Matter Lifting, Kurt at the Kurt Locker, Coach Carp, I forgot your name, dude. Sorry. No Fate 24/7. Wow, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sick. But all of those guys, there's a whole bunch. There's a whole Design Build Lift, Jungle Gym Reviews. Like, there's a bunch of like really good, solid, like medium-sized YouTube channels out there reviewing home gym gear who I know would be more than happy to take your gear and put it to the test and tell you the 8 or 10 or 15 things that need to be changed or tweaked to make it a really fantastic product. And then when you release that product, the V1 can just be killer, and you won't have to disappoint a bunch of people by coming out with a V2 that fixes a bunch of minor stuff that shouldn't have even been on the first one to start with. So I know that's kind of a harsh one, but man, I really feel like a lot of this gym stuff, there's such a rush to get it out to market, to be first or whatever it happens to be, that a lot of really easy fixes are overlooked. And as I review gear, I'm telling you, even in like the first week to 2 weeks of using it, I can usually find like 5 or 6 or 7 things that would be easy tweaks here and there. A handle placement, a button placement, a knob move, a shift of the wheels, just little things that would make products so much better that if you got them out in the field to test with real world users and not just the people that work for you. So there used to be something, I used to work in retail for 30 years, weird side thing, but this will make sense. And I used to do as part of the corporate team, we used to do store visits, and we would walk through these stores with store managers and point out all the stuff that's wrong with their store. And the store manager had no clue. They're like, I spent a week trying to get ready for your visit. I can't believe I missed all this stuff. And we used to call it being store blind. When you're so close to something on an everyday basis, you just stop seeing things that everybody else sees when they look at it with fresh eyes. And I really think that a lot of the manufacturers are store blind to their products because they've been deep in the design process for years. They've done the R&D, they've done the in-house testing, and they aren't seeing the things that are the obvious things that just a fresh bunch of eyes would see. So boy, I would tell you what, I would really, really, really love to see a little bit better job of testing, especially large pieces of gear like the Aries, like the reverse hyper from Bells of Steel, like some of the cable systems that are coming out, like some of the all-in-ones that are out on the market. I really think that those could be much better with just a little bit more testing and tweaking before we put a final version on the market. Let's move on to number 5. Number 5, and this kind of has to do with that as well, but boy, you know what would be really nice is if more companies would innovate and less companies would copy. So I don't think that every company needs a power rack. I don't think that every company needs a set of plates. Now granted, customers go on a website, they want to buy everything in one place, so I get it. But I don't think you necessarily need to, as a company, just to go, well, everybody else has got one, so I need one. Everybody else has got one, so I need one. I'm going to compare this to restaurants. When I go out to eat at a restaurant and there's a menu, in my opinion, everything on that menu should be the best possible version of that thing that you can make. Like if there's I'll give you a great example. I used to go to Emporia, Kansas for a disc golf tournament once a year. And there's a place there called Impact or Radius Breweries is what it was called. And really amazing food. I ate there so much when I would go to these tournaments. And the reason for it is everything on the menu was spectacular, even though it was something basic. So they made a BLT. And you think, okay, BLT, we throw some bacon, we throw some lettuce. No, they used pork belly. They used like fresh from the garden tomatoes. They use this in-house baked. This is hands down, like they use this like this tomato aioli, garlic aioli. Oh man, it was amazing. If you're gonna have a BLT on the menu, then it should be this BLT. It shouldn't just be some crappy couple slices of Wonder Bread with some cheap old bacon just to say that you got a BLT on the menu. And that's kind of how I feel about a lot of the offerings from a lot of the fitness companies as well. You know, to be a fitness company, we have to have one, so let's just get one out. We got to have an adjustable bench, so let's just make it. We got to have a flat bench, so let's just make it. Guys, if you're gonna have something on your menu, really, let's start innovating and start making it better than what we can get at just any other place. And I really think that that would do a whole lot for the industry. And it wouldn't be that hard to look at the stuff that's on your menu and go, how can we make that a little bit different? How can we make that a little bit better? How can we add a little bit of flair? How can we add just something to make a design piece easier? And again, back to that store blind thing, you're gonna need to call in some fresh sets of eyes to do this because your engineers have been so intent on this one particular design. But I really, really think that if we spend more time innovating in our industry and less time just doing a whole lot of me too, man, it would be so much more fun to be in this industry, and I think that you would find a lot of success. My last podcast episode was talking about companies that end up in the friend zone, and a big reason why they're in the friend zone is there's just nothing outstanding about that company. I think that this innovation really fixes that. Oh, by the way, before I get to the next point, did I tell you that I'm in kind of a cranky old man mood? So I'm sorry if I'm coming. I just realized I'm screaming at the camera like an angry old man standing on the porch telling little kids to get off their lawn. And I really don't intend to come across that way. But I'm trying to be helpful here. But I really think, like I said, let's innovate and let's go on to the next one here. This next one really, man, this one I think hit home. So I just did 2 reviews of 2 Rep Fitness barbells, which I think are fantastic barbells. We did the Badlands bar and I did the Black Canyon bar. And both of these are $250 barbells. They share all of the quality aspects of the Rep Fitness barbells. Their build quality is phenomenal. The finishes are beautiful. They're holding up really well so far, by the way. But they don't have the fancy end caps. They don't have the fancy laser engraving. I think that in the home gym industry that there's this sense that something either needs to be like the bougiest of bougie, most expensive $12,000 version of something, or it just needs to be an entry-level piece of garbage. And I really think that most of us, I would think, at least me, and I know a lot of you guys, we're all somewhere in the middle. Like, I don't mind spending a little bit more money for something that's gonna get me a good amount of quality. Like, I really love those Rep barbells. I honestly think for most people, you don't need their flagship Colorado Black Diamond, double Black Diamond bar. I think that one of these 2 bars, the Badlands bar, if you're looking for a really good aggressive powerlifting bar, or the Black Canyon bar if you're looking for a more passively knurled kind of all-around bar, those bars are gonna last you a lifetime. And again, they don't have the fancy touches and they aren't Cerakote and they're not all stainless, but they're this nice, they hit this sweet spot, this mid-tier, like bang for your buck, really good value, but they're not low priced because they're junk, right? They're lower priced because they got rid of the stuff that's just fluff, but they kept the meat of the product, right? The stuff that makes it worthwhile. And man, I wish more companies did that. I really think that there's a big market for, I don't need a $600 weight bench, but I would pay $350 for one that's just, you know, good grippy vinyl, a good enclosed ladder system. You wouldn't think that an adjustable weight bench would be all that hard to make, but I see company after company after company just absolutely screw it up, either trying to go too cheap or trying to go too high end. And I really think that there's a mid-level there that is really, there's a huge opportunity for somebody to capitalize on that. I think Bellows of Steel is starting to get there, but I think that they've got some aesthetic issues and some little fit and finish issues to address first, because they just don't measure up to those 2 Rep Fitness barbells I was talking about. But companies like that, I think they're starting to hone in on that. But wow, I would love to see a company come out and go, we're gonna own this part of the market. We're not gonna make a super high-end, you know, $1,000 anything. We're not gonna make a cheap major duty, gonna fall apart in 4 months, what is the Mikolo? We're going to make our rack out of aluminum instead of steel, BS, low price junk. We're going to do something really nice and solid and quality in the middle that you guys are going to like, that you're going to be able to pass down to your kids, but that it's not going to cost an arm and a leg. And I would love, and if you guys know of companies doing that, man, let me know in the comments, because that really, I think, as I kind of build out my review calendar, these are the products that not only I don't think are getting made, they're the ones that aren't getting reviewed, because to be honest with you, most of the people who review stuff, they're doing it because they want the affiliate commissions on stuff. And when they look at what they want to review, they only want to review the higher price stuff because the affiliate commissions are higher. It doesn't make sense to review a $200 barbell when you can review a $600 barbell, right? And same thing with racks, and same things with all kinds of other stuff. So not only do you not see a lot made, you don't see a lot reviewed. So if you guys know of stuff, and as you guys know here on the channel, I'm going to bring you stuff whether there's an affiliate program or not. I do lots of reviews of stuff where I literally can't make money off of it. I just think it's something that you guys should see. So if you think there's something that should be on the channel that's not getting any love, that fits that description of, man, this is something really cool, mid-tier, good fit and finish, solid build quality, and really value priced, let me know, because I want to look at that stuff and hopefully bring more of that type of stuff to you guys. The next one is also something that came up during my Rep Fitness barbell reviews. The Badlands bar came packaged better than any other. Go back and I'll put the link down in the description below to that review. Came packaged better than any other barbell I've ever received. It was packaged in foam. It wasn't in a tube. Every square inch of its surface was protected. It was no chance this thing was getting damaged, scratched, dinged, nicked, nothing. And I can't tell you how many home gyms packages I open, where you open up the box and it's literally just every part wrapped in some bubble wrap and some packing tape and then just tossed in on top of each other. And every time that box gets moved, those parts rub against each other and clang against each other and get bent and scratched and poked. And man, I understand that packaging, especially good packaging, costs a little bit more in the manufacturing process. But back to what we're willing to pay for. Look, if I'm going to spend $500 on something, I'm happy to spend $550 on that same thing if I know that it's going to show up and not be scratched and dinged and all crappily packaged. So, and I know that it's possible because I've seen lots of really well packaged stuff that's not super expensive. I just think it's something that a lot of people overlook. And man, if most companies, and I'm calling out almost all the companies on this, because I don't think I can think of a single company where I haven't received something that American Barbell has never shipped me anything that was damaged, scratched, nicked, or chipped at all. Outside of them, I think every other company I've ever ordered from, I've seen some just really shoddy packaging. So that's one more thing that I think home gym companies today could do much better, is package. Let me know in the comments who you think does the best job of packaging, because I know that there are some good ones out there. Like I said, I really, really, really am trying not to be the angry old man. Sorry, I got a little bit of a fever today too, so I'm really trying not to do that. So help me out and soften me up a little bit, and put down in the comments some of the companies that do a good job of packaging, so that we don't just throw everybody under the bus on this episode. But I think that's enough on packaging. Let's move on to the next one. So this one's going to be a little bit of something that you've seen happening already, but I really think it needs to happen more. And I think that the larger companies in the garage gym space need to start fairly partnering with some of the smaller makers. There's a group of people, they're called micropreneurs, and they're guys who, we're all in our garage, we look at our squat rack, we go, the squat rack should do this. I got a cool, my dad's a TV repairman, he's got the ultimate set of tools right over there. Bonus points if you know where that reference comes from. And you go and you grab that set of tools and you make a little thing to fix something, or you make a little thing to tweak something, and you make it better, and you make some for your friends, and then you show it on Instagram, and before you know it, you're shipping out 50 a week, but that's all you can do. And in reality, that little thing that makes your rack better could make thousands and thousands and thousands of people's racks better. And I really think that, for a while, AbMat was doing this, and they changed management or ownership, but I don't see them doing as good a job at that anymore. I'm being a little selfish there because I've been trying to work with them on some ideas of my own, and it's like trying to get a hold of a brick wall in some cases. But there are other companies like Rep has been doing a really nice job with their partnerships. And Fringe has been doing a nice job with their partnerships, but I really would like to see Rogue has done some nice stuff with, I believe, Mutant Metals. So I would really love to see more of that, because if you really dig deep on Instagram, guys, there's some cool stuff out there for your gym that just guys are making on their 3D printers, or they're, they've got a welder from Costco. I know Matt Porter was saying he built his first bunch of products for Porter Phys Ed, and built his first bunch of products on like a $150 welder that he borrowed from his brother-in-law, or his brother, I think. So those are the type of people. These are untapped. You don't need to do the R&D. You don't need to do the design and develop. Like, this product is already proven. It's already tested. It's already in a bunch of people's hands. It's already undergone revisions. You just need to go in and go, hey, we're going to treat you fairly. We're going to compensate you fairly. And then we're going to take your awesome product to market using our manufacturing facilities and our marketing. And I know that there's some pushback on this, and a lot of people are like, yeah, but then the quality goes down. And that's what I mean by fairly. I don't mean take their idea and then make a cheap knockoff of it. I mean, make it right, make it well, make it as good or better. Like the new Rep and Cleva attachments, the Rep version is 4 times stronger than the Cleva build. And they came out great. They've got them downstairs in the gym. I love them. I think that's a great collaboration and a great example of what I'm talking about. But man, I really, really, really would love to see that take off over the next couple of years, because there's literally hundreds of guys out there with great products already made, and they're either afraid to share them because because there's crappy companies who will steal them. There's a bunch of stuff. There's like 4-6 Fitness is a good one, which I don't mind throwing out there, who just blatantly copies stuff. I've seen all the debates on that. I come down on the side of they blatantly copied stuff. Just work with the original creator and work together and make a product and get it out to more people, because there's awesome products that need to be in the market, and there's some really large companies out there with the power to do that. And guys, you make enough money, you can treat these creators well, make their product the right way, pay them fairly, and all of us win. So there's some stuff that I think that every major garage gym manufacturer should be doing, is they should be out scouting for these smaller inventors out there. Second to last one has to do with these smaller inventors. So I'm gonna call out one of my favorite Instagram accounts to follow, which is FrogFits. And this is a guy who makes these really cool, like little accent touches. When I was at Home Gym Con last year, and I'm sure it's going to be the same this year, is we're going to walk up and down these aisles, and lots of aisles this year. If you're not going to Home Gym Con this year, you are missing out, my friends. I believe that my bird flu or whatever I've got should be done by then, and I want to meet you guys there, but there are so many vendors there. And unfortunately, what's going to happen is we're going to walk up and down these aisles, and it's going to be squat rack, 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 and there's not going to be a whole lot of difference. And FrogFits is a great example of a company that I think I'm going to be patronizing quite a bit once I get my rack into my gym, which is coming in like 2 weeks. Actually, by the time this episode posts, should be coming in 1 week. And I will be buying a bunch of stuff to customize how my gear looks. I think that Bells of Steel came out with like different colored bolts you can get for 5/8 inch racks. I think that there should be 5 or 6 different color bolts you can get for any size rack. I think you should be able to get bolt head covers. I think you should be able to get a zillion different color safety straps. I think there's a huge market for the ability to add little tiny custom touches. Darko, who makes the barbell anchors, does a great job of this. You can pick so many mix and match of different kinds of metal and different types of colors of plastic, and just really customize things to match your gym. And I really think that that's going to be something cool. And I think that the major manufacturers should actually just offer that in addition to all these little guys. In fact, partner with little guys, like I said on the previous tip, but also look, if you're going to make, Rep does a nice job where you can buy different color cross members and posts, but you should be able to buy different color everything. You should be able to buy different color nuts and bolts. You should be able to buy different color J-hooks, spotter arms, safety straps, all of that stuff. I really think that there's an underappreciated market for people who would be willing to do that. And I know people who would be willing to pay the premium to do that so that their rack is their rack. I remember back in the day when this first started coming out and Basement Brandon got his Stormtrooper rack and it was black and white. And man, everybody loved that thing because up until then, most racks were like one color and he mixed black and white together and it was so cool. And I think that take that and extrapolate it out to today. And I really think that that's something that a lot of the home gym companies, if you started doing right now, it wouldn't cost you a whole bunch of extra money. It's a bunch of little tiny parts. We're not talking about, rebuilding or rejiggering everything. We're just literally talking about the accent pieces on the gear that you already make. I really, really think that it would be a cool thing that a lot of people would like. But until they start doing it, check out Frog Fits on Instagram. I think they've got an Etsy page too, is where they sell their stuff. And I'm pretty sure they do some custom stuff on request. And then there's another company, which I will put a link down below, who is doing custom barbell end caps now to your design, which is just another cool touch. But man, imagine if you could buy a barbell and then collectible end caps, right? Or different. Anyway, I'm going on because I'm excited about that one because I'm the dork who would spend just way too much money on that kind of stuff. But I think it's something that the garage gym companies could do. And then my last one, and I'm really passionate about this one. I've thought a lot about this one. And I really, really think that I think all the garage gym companies should start doing this tomorrow. And that is, there should be a lifetime warranty on everything that we buy from you. Period. I don't think that there's any reason that gym equipment should not have a lifetime warranty. Body Solid's been doing this for years. They even warranty their cables. So for people to say, oh, we couldn't do that because the cables will wear out or, the brake pads on the car are meant to be gone through, so we can't warranty those. I don't buy that. You're making stuff out of heavy gauge steel with mostly metal parts. They should have lifetime warranties. And are you going to replace something here and there? Yes, you are. Absolutely. But I can tell you right now that the word of mouth advertising from somebody who gets a barbell replaced because the sleeve broke and you, no question asked, just sent them a new barbell or paid shipping both ways and fixed their barbell, the little bit of money that you spend on that pales in comparison to the hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars you're spending on social media advertising. That person is going to be a better advertiser for you than any ad you could ever buy. And oh, by the way, that person, their entire family, all their friends, all their neighbors, everybody who follows them online are all going to buy your products because they had that experience. And if you build your stuff right, you know why Body Solid can give a lifetime warranty on all of their stuff? Because they build it to last a lifetime. They never need to fix their stuff. So start there, build your stuff so that you can give a lifetime warranty, and then give a lifetime warranty. There's zero reason that any squat rack in the world shouldn't have a lifetime warranty. There's zero reason in the world that any set of plates shouldn't have a lifetime warranty. Kudos to Fringe Sport for giving a lifetime warranty on their bumper plates. Will they have to replace some 10-pound bumper plates here and there? Absolutely. Are they going to sell a metric crap ton more bumper plates because they have a lifetime warranty? Yes, they are. It is one of the smartest business decisions I've seen in our industry in quite a long time. And the more I think about it, the more I can't come up with a good reason why you guys can't give us a lifetime warranty on literally everything that you make. And are people going to take advantage of you sometimes? Yeah. I worked in retail for 30 years, and one of the most important things that I ever learned is you never manage all of your customers based on the behavior of your worst customer. And unfortunately, that's what happens a lot of times is we go, oh, well, we know that this one guy is going to be really hard and he's going to run over his barbell with his dump truck and then he's going to want a new barbell, so we're not going to do that. Yeah, that guy is going to do that. Give that guy a new barbell. If he's claiming 3 or 4 barbells, you can say, sorry, dude, we replaced it once, you're abusing it, all right? Or you can put a closet, accepting abuse. There's ways around that, but don't deprive all of your customers of the beauty of a lifetime warranty because a few people are going to take advantage of you. So I'm asking all of the garage gym companies, There is no viable reason why you cannot give a lifetime warranty on, I'll be fair, let's leave the cardio stuff out of it that has tons and tons of moving parts. But any weight training equipment, any resistance equipment, dumbbells, kettlebells, weight plates, barbells, benches, racks, guys, all that stuff should have a lifetime warranty on it. Again, am I sounding like an angry old man? I'm sorry, guys. I'm very passionate about this one. And for those of you who agree with this one, chime in down in the comments. Let the companies know. I literally, now, if there's a reason they can't give a lifetime warranty on something, I'd love to know what it is, because the only reason I can think is if you're major duty and you make stuff that only lasts a couple of months. Yes, those companies could not give a lifetime warranty, and you shouldn't be buying from those companies in the first place. Outside of that, your major manufacturers, your Rogues, your Reps, your Fringe, your Bells of Steel, your Titans, all of those guys. Body Solid already does it. All of those guys should have lifetime warranties. So, there you have it, an episode of an angry old man shouting at the wind about things he wishes was different about the industry that he works in, but hopefully you guys got a kick out of that. Hopefully you guys know me by now. I'm pretty good-natured at heart, and I don't bear any ill will against anyone. I tell you, I love this stuff. I love this industry. I love where it's going. I genuinely mean it. I want to see all you guys at home GymCon. It is one of the most fun weekends that you can spend, and this year is going to be really special. Literally everybody's going to be there, except for American Barbell. American Barbell, why are you not going to Home GymCon? You're like the only manufacturer not going, and people need to feel your barbells. I'm telling you, put those barbells in people's hands, you'll sell some, I promise. But outside of that, again, man, angry old man sneaking in again. It must be time for my cold medicine. But anyway, go to Home GymCon this year. I love this stuff. Yeah, that's it. So that's all I've got for this week's podcast. Sorry for being all over the place. Hopefully at some point I will be feeling better. I've got lots of cool stuff coming up, including the new rack, which guys, I can't wait to show this to you. But until then, or the next episode of the podcast, or the next review, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube algorithm stuff, and take care. Thanks for watching this long. I'm Tim with GymCrafter.
How about give me that? Give me them good vibes, yeah, and you might get it back. Manifest anything, oh look at that, no cap, no snap back. It's a new era, got that balance like a Libra. Never been a diva, never wanna look back either. Focus on the future, focus on the ether, focus on the good time, lyrical. Complex like a spider, swim deeper. Jump on the decks, that might will get eat up. Strong flows, I make your mind weaker.